Hello everybody, my name is Leo and I have the Neural DSP Quad Cortex since it was released, therefore almost 2 years ago. I have done several videos about it and now I think it's a good idea to share with you a summary of the 5 reasons you should buy it and the 5 reasons you should not buy it. Just hoping that in this way our community can help you to decide whether this is the right device for you or not. Let's start. The first reason to buy it is the profiling procedure, that is also called capture procedure. This machine is among the few amp modeling pedalboards that allows us to make profiles, together for instance with the Camper or the Moore pedalboards. Actually, in terms of profiling procedure, I think that this unit is even more advanced than the Camper. In fact, with the Camper you have a specific step of the profiling procedure which is needed in order to refine the profile you are creating. This step can drastically change the final result, depending on the riff you're gonna play, the guitar, etc. On the other hand, the Quad Cortex allows us to obtain much more consistent results. All the steps of the profiling procedure are automated, without any need for us to make anything, and therefore, as I was saying, it results in an easier and more consistent procedure compared to the one of the Camper. I have done a specific video about it that you can check out in the link in the card above or description below. Actually, the profile feature is also my first cons. In fact, you don't have the possibility to download the profiles files from your Quad Cortex in order, for instance, to sell them. I mean, there is a way to sell your profiles, but it includes some manual steps and it is pretty complicated. On the other hand, the Camper is much easier, and in fact there is a pretty big profile market with very nice profiles that you can buy. The absence of an easy way to sell profiles limit the Quad Cortex profile market and imply that the professional users with high-end recording gear and amps may prefer to make profiles for the Camper platform. In fact, the Camper is a much more open platform which allows professional users to gain some money from their high-end amps and recording gear without too much complications. The Quad Cortex is a much more closed platform compared to the Camper, and this is a limitation. Actually, something I really don't understand. Why Neural DSP limits us? It's even a little bit irritating. I mean, gear companies should help the guitar community to find ways to create some income. We have also to take into consideration that the income from making music is becoming low and low, considering what we can get for each stream of one of our songs. As I was saying, there is a way to sell Quad Cortex profiles, but it is complicated and you have to spend time to accomplish manual steps for each purchase you may obtain, which is crazy. The second reason to buy it is its easiness of use, mainly thanks to the touch screen, which is the biggest in the industry. Everything is pretty intuitive and you find yourself building complex presets in no time. The FM3, for instance, is a much more complicated unit, far more complex to be used. On the other hand, the cons here is that no computer app is available. Actually, the unit has been released since almost 2 years and, as I was saying, we still don't have a computer app. So I'm kind of losing my hopes for having such an app for my computer. You know, when you record, it's far more easy to use the modeler without having to reach out to it, but with everything in the screen of your computer, in my opinion. Another reason to buy the unit is that you have a complete recording studio at your disposal. even because you also have 8 USB channels with the Quad Cortex and 2 high-end quality XLR preamplifiers with phantom power that can power your mics. So here you can also record your acoustic guitar together with your voice, which is something unique for units like this. Another pro is that you can use the unit with two complete independent signal chains. For instance, you can use one chain for the guitar and the other one for the bass, which is pretty cool. Furthermore, you can build pretty complex signal chains, for instance with two amps at the same time. The cons here is that the more the signal chain gets complicated, the more you add latency to your playing. I have measured the latency, and so far I can say that the latency management can be optimized. For instance, if you add an effect block to the signal chain, it adds latency even if it is switched off. And therefore, when you have complex signal chains, the latency can even overcome the 10 milliseconds threshold. Where with devices like the Boss GX100 or the new XMG400, you are around the 1 millisecond latency time almost always. For those of us who are sensible to latency, this could be a killer issue. If you want more info about latency, you can check out the video in the card above or description below. The fourth cons I would mention is a little bit more controversial: the external power adapter. I mean, units in this price range, like the FM3 or the FM9 or the Line 6 Helix, all have internal power adapters. For me, the external power adapter is a kind of a cons, both because it's a less comfortable solution and because when you are on the go you risk to lose it. I see just one advantage of this solution, that is that you can run easily the Quad Cortex with an all battery powered solution. That's why I said that it is a controversial point. But, in my opinion, it's a cons, even if not a deal breaker. The fifth and last cons I would mention is the effect section. I'm not an effect geek, but in terms of effect I prefer pedalboards like the Boss or the Fractal ones. Maybe I'm more used to how Boss and Fractal sounds, but I found easier to dial a good tone with Boss and Fractal effects. This is pretty personal, and the Quad Cortex still have good effects with which I'm sure many of you are gonna be very happy. The fifth and last reason to buy it I would mention is its form factor, which is amazing in my opinion. It looks fantastic. And you know, we shouldn't care about how the gear looks, but this unit is a joy to watch and it's cool. I mean, having something so beautiful really attracts me and makes me wanna play even more. I'm also totally fine with the missing expression pedal. First of all, because I'm not an heavy user of the expression pedal, but even because this solution allows us to have a smaller and lighter unit. And if we want, we can add an external expression pedal. Furthermore, this unit is pretty light to carry with you, but still it is built very well. Summarizing, the perfect unit does not exist. All the units have some pros and some cons, and it's definitely up to us to evaluate each pros and each cons and to decide which unit better suits our needs. All in all, I'm happy with the Quad Cortex. The more the time goes by, the more I'm using it over the FM3 and the Camper. It is cool, it's easy, and the possibility to have the profiles of my amps is a killer feature in my opinion. And please let me know your opinions in the comment section below. Which are the pros and cons of this unit in your opinion? Which unit better suits your needs? Please let us know your precious and valuable opinions in the comment section below. We have now reached the end of this video, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell and leave a thumb up, as it will be of a great help. If you're interested in my IRs or in my camper profiles, you can check out the link in the card above or description below, where there is also a link to a playlist of songs of mine. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.